Hey folks, how you doing? This is Wayne S. Pierce for the American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.com is the main website. Working on it a little bit. So, go to the backup site for me, will ya? Yeah, that's AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Yeah, there you go. Check that out. The Wayne S. Pierce Show will be live this next week, I believe. I'm thinking Monday. Yeah, I'm thinking Monday. Hopefully, if I get things finagled over the weekend, I can have Nick Tucker call in. But we'll see. So there we go. The Wayne S. Pierce Show Monday live. Live Monday. Yes, I'll just make it official right now. Live Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, which is 8 o'clock Mountain for those in the Billings, Montana area. Hello, Billings. How are you? Yes. Anyway, let's get on with the program, shall we? Yes, I just did a live Facebook broadcast. And I want, excuse me, I want people to know that as far as I am concerned, from my perspective, whatever is happening in California is treasonous. I said it. There you go. There you go. Whatever is happening in California is treasonous. And your mainstream propaganda media is faking stories. They're lying. They're spinning. They're, you name it, wag the dog. Is that what term it is within the confines of that, of the media? Well, not only that, the fake media is everywhere. And I'm going to call it what it is. The propaganda media out there, the mainstream propaganda media, the manufactured media, the liars in the media, whatever you want to call it. That's entirely up to you. But Steve Watson at Infowars.com writes, fake media, MSNBC host again suggests President of the United States is mentally ill. Quote, at the very least, he's not well, unquote. Excuse me? For the second time in a week, the hosts of MSNBC Morning Joe told their viewers that Donald Trump is potentially mentally ill in a continuation of a long-running obstruction campaign that has been in effect since before Trump won the election. During a discussion on the Comey testimony, co-host Mika Brzezinski said of Trump, quote, I think he's such a narcissist. It's possible that he's mentally ill in a way, unquote. Adding, quote, he's not well. At the very least, he's not well, unquote. Quote, he does not believe the rules apply to him, unquote, Brzezinski continued, exclaiming, quote, this is a man who says he can grab women anywhere because he's famous, unquote. Let me stop right there. I'm going to put this on American Liberty Radio podcast. She says he does not believe the rules apply to him. That's her quote. Quote, he does not believe the rules apply to him, unquote. Mika Brzezinski, her father just recently passed away. Brzezinski, whatever, his father, or her father, yeah, you know who it is. Another globalist, another lefty globalist, another Marxist Saul Alinsky follower, you know. I know, that's a lot of things to throw in that pot, isn't it? Brzezinski, that's what it is. Her father recently passed away. Her father was a proponent of globalism, was a supporter of a one world order, and she has the freaking guts to say, quote, he does not believe the rules apply to him, unquote. Hello, the rules her father believed never applied to him. So I don't want to hear it anymore. These lefties are these globalists, these pathetic people just cannot get over the fact that peace, freedom, liberty, and security is the principle of our nation, and that we the people are not going to put up with anybody else trying to undermine that. Her and oh, by the way, Joe Scarborough. Yeah, let's take a look at him for a minute while I've got you here. Let's go. Let's just Google him up, shall we? Joe Scarborough. Right there. Top of the list. There he is. Joe Scarborough is. Charles Joseph Joe Scarborough is an American cable news and talk radio host. He is currently the co-host of Morning Joe on MSNBC and previously hosted Scarborough Country on the same channel. Scarborough was previously a lawyer and a politician. He served in the United States House of Representatives from 1995 to 2001 as a Republican from the 1st District of Florida. Additionally, Scarborough serves as a visiting fellow at the Harvard Institute of Politics at the Harvard Kennedy School of Government. He was named in the 2011 Time 100 as one of the most influential people in the world. I'll put that up there as well, but let's go here, shall we? I'm gonna let's see. If I can spell, the Morning Joe host, Joe Scarborough, is that right? Let me look. Yeah, there we go. There. That's that one. Okay. So let's go over here. I'm going to do this because I'm going to show you everything you need to know. And obviously, I encourage you to go look this stuff up. There it is. Mika Brzezinski. Let's just look at her Wikipedia page, shall we? Now, obviously, Wikipedia is not the go-to, end-all, information that you need. Mika Emily Leonia Brzezinski is an American television host, author, and political commentator. Brzezinski co-hosts MSNBC's weekday morning broadcast, Morning Joe, with her fiancé, former Republican Representative Joe Scarborough. What? What? This I did not know. Additionally, Brzezinski serves as a visiting fellow at the Harvard Institute of Politics, a part of the Harvard Kennedy School of Government. She is the daughter of late Zbigniew Brzezinski, the National Security Advisor to President Jimmy Carter and Counselor to President Lyndon B. Johnson. That's who her father was, folks. So, that's going up there too in the comment section. There you go. There you go. Two globalists, one's Republican, one is, I don't know what her political affiliation is. He's a rhino in name only. He's a Republican in name only. He's a rhino. That's what he is. That's yeah. Folks, I'm telling you exactly who's doing what and why. I hope that I encourage you to go look this stuff up. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe Wikipedia. You need to do your own research on this if you are so inclined to do so, because I encourage you to do so. I would like you to do so. That would be kind of cool. Okay? It also educate you on what's actually going on in the world. The Daily Mail. ISIS warns Manchester bombing a quote-unquote preview of what is coming. Jihadist mock benefit concert promised more attacks in online magazine. ISIS has warned that the Manchester terror attack will be the first of many and claim that efforts to show defiance against jihadists have been a complete failure. The terror group's online magazine said the focus of its followers has shifted to carrying out attacks on Crusader soil. Now, if you go back to the UK, you go back many years ago, you will see that there was a crusade by the church to end the Islamic Muslim faith. Obviously, that didn't work out so well in some contexts, and they pretty much control Turkey. And my show is being heard in Istanbul, Turkey. So hello, good morning, good evening, Istanbul. Isn't that strange? I'm also being heard in China and Germany and and other places as well. And Canada. Hello, neighbors to the north. Canada, how you doing? I've been up there. I was in Parry Sound, Ontario. Beautiful country up there. So how you doing up there? You guys are, yeah. Yeah, folks. Let me move on here and continue on with this article from the Daily Mail. It's on Infowars.com. I will put this on American Liberty Radio podcast. Continuing, a sickening editorial in the jihadist Rumalia magazine. I don't know. Quote, just 1 week before the blessed month of Ramadan, the world's attention was focused on the British city of Manchester. A soldier of the Khalifa had carried out a just terror operation striking Manchester Arena at the conclusion of a concert by an American singer, unquote. There it says read more, so I'm going to put this on American Liberty Radio podcast. Let me point something out to you folks. I don't care where you are in the world. I don't care what you do for a job or if you own a little, store or a coffee shop in some European country. Doesn't matter. I like you. Because you're, number one, you're a human being. And number two, you're trying to survive. Okay? I don't make light of that because it's important. We're human beings trying to survive. So I don't care where you are, whether you're in Manchester, England, or Istanbul, Turkey, or whatever. We're all trying to survive, folks. We're human beings. So to have a group of people, by the way, ISIS, Islamic State, or Taliban, or Al-Qaeda, or Mujahideen, they're all one and the same, and they're all being funded by intelligence organizations around the world. Okay? Why? Well, that's an interesting question, and if I had the answer, I'd tell you. But you're all human beings having to face these people every day. You're all human beings trying to survive, walking through the streets of Israel, walking through the streets of Jerusalem with, seeing armed guards everywhere, walking through the streets of South Africa and in Johannesburg, watching all of this stuff going on, and all you're doing is trying to survive. And all you want to do is engage in that process to survive. And the United States citizens, we want peace, freedom, liberty, and security for this nation. But we have an opposition force, and that opposition force is sitting on 10 square miles of land on the East Coast called Washington, D.C. Not everybody in Congress is bad. There's probably a handful of people, including President Trump, who want to help people survive. But the opposition force is not only there, they're elsewhere in the world, and they're called globalists. And the likes of George Soros and the likes of Rockefeller, who recently died, and the likes of the late Zbigniew Brzezinski and people like that want complete enslavement of every single person on the planet. And they want to destroy the last vestige of peace, freedom, liberty, and security in the world, and that would be the United States of America. You all want to survive. You all want to survive. You all want to just be human. You all just want to get along. You all just want to, shake hands with your neighbor. You just want to, talk to the store owner next door to you of your store that you own. You just want to survive. You just want to make a living. You just want to help your children. You just want to love your wife. You just want to go on and do things that help. And in fact, I think the most important thing you guys want to do is wake up every morning without having to look out your window and see a bunch of military all over your streets. You're talking about a utopia. No, I'm talking about reality. But think about this. When you wake up every morning and you look at yourself in the mirror, and you guys, you shave, women, you brush your teeth, you do all that. Think about this for a minute. When you walk out that door, do you have any idea whether or not you'll be back that evening? That's a good question. Well, here's another question, and then I'll move on. Women all over the world, I'm directing this question to you. In all of your, countries that want to suppress you, that want to harm you, that want to abuse you in some way, let me just ask this question in this manner. Why the hell are you putting up with it? Why? You're human beings, not meat. You're human beings, not cattle. You're human beings with heart and soul and spirit. And you're putting up with your man suppressing you in the way he does? You think you're property because he's indoctrinated you, or your culture has indoctrinated you to believe that? No. You're human beings, number one. Number two, you want to survive. And number three, you've got the spirit to do that. You've got the backbone to do that. You've got the guts to survive and be human and live each day without the terror and live each day without the horror and live each day in peace. You have got the backbone to do that. And if there are women who are in the military in some other countries that are fighting ISIS, let me tell you something. My hat goes off to you and I salute you. Now you've got to get your fellow woman, your fellow species, if you will. I don't like using that term, but it's the only thing I can think of right now. You can go into these places and pull these women out. Now, I know. There's diplomacy, there's policies, there's bureaucracy, there's all these things that if you just upset the apple cart and go in and do what I'm saying, that's going to upset the UN, that's going to upset other countries, that's going to, sever some ties and all that. You know what? Every so often, you got to knock over the barrel of bad apples and search through them for the good ones and put those back and throw the rest away. It's time we stand up. It's time we take the measures we have to engage in defense of our humanhood, of our humanity, of our fellow man and woman. And if you don't have the guts to do that, you're a pathetic person. And your role in humanity is not that important. when you put your backbone into something, when you put the elbow grease into something, when you want to make something happen and you see something bad happening to somebody else, it is your duty and responsibility as a human to make sure certain things like that never happen again. And don't give me this crap. And I know my Christian friends out there are saying, well, we just need to get on our knees and pray to God, and we need to move his heart, and we need to, I'm going to mock you till the day they put dirt on my face, because you are so wrong. I know Christians right now that would say, maybe we should take a trip to these Muslim countries and protect our people. As far as I'm concerned, that's not such a bad idea. I'm just saying. But anyway, again, folks, let me make a note right here that everything that you hear is just my opinion. It has no reflection on anybody else's thoughts or opinions. It is my own, period. That's it. It's just my own. I make no bones about how disappointed I am with humanity, with my friends and family out in California. I make no bones about the fact that people are stupid and their cultures are pieces of crap. I make no bones about it. I tell you straight up how I feel. Well, that's how you feel. I've had people tell me I've got to calm down a little bit, that I got to use a little more tact, that I got to, you can get, what is that honey adage or whatever, you can get more bees with honey or with sugar than you can with honey or something. I don't know what the hell that is. I have no clue. I don't care. You got to pull them in. You got to pull them in if you want them to hear your show. You got to no. I got to tell the truth with the facts. Period. That's it. You like that? Great, wonderful, fantastic. I give you a virtual high five. All right. But the bottom line is, I ain't gonna hold back. I'm not gonna hold back. Why should I? I'm gonna tell it like it is. I'm gonna give you straightforward truth and facts. Don't like it? You're in the wrong place. And if you like that truth and facts, and if you like how I deliver the truth and facts, and then I encourage you to go look this stuff up yourself as well, because you don't always have to believe me, and we don't always have to agree. That's okay. But if you like this show, please consider contributing to it in one way or another. We're upgrading around here, some equipment, we're remodeling the studio. I got to reconfigure some of the stuff around here and go from there. But yeah. If you want to contribute to the American Liberty Radio Network, you can. It's listener supported. And you can also advertise on the network as well. So there's that to consider. Billings, Montana. There's a lot to consider. If you have any questions, comments, want to, talk to me, you can email me at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. Yeah, you can go to AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. That's our backup site, AmericanLibertyRadio@.weebly.com. You can go to the sponsors page. There's a little button down there. It says, become a patron. Yes, become a patron. There you go. Yes, drop $1 in a kitty and help us keep the lights on around here and help me stay in coffee, because I like my coffee. So onward and upward to other things if we are to get through this day. I don't know. Obama never warned state election officials of Russian election hacking. Quote, over and over again, they did say there was no credible threat, unquote. There you go. Let's not get into that. Everybody knows that false narrative that the left is spinning about Russians hacking into our election and, giving Trump the presidency. Nah, it's bullcrap. Everybody knows it. It's false. The left is still going to pull that out of their, magic bag and think that we're going to believe it. They're full of bullcrap. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. A friend of mine, let me go here. I got to promote some people before they get a little angry that I'm not. No, it's a friend of mine has a radio show, and you'll love it, because if you're an independent artist, independent musician, independent author, that's the place for you, and that is Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz. That's Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz. You can go to their website at 926theblitz.rocks, R-O-C-K-S, 926theblitz.rocks. Hey, go check out The Morning Brew with my friend Mr. Tom Slick over there, spinning all the independent hits from around the world for your enjoyment. That is Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz, The Morning Brew with Tom Slick. Go to 926theblitz.rocks. That's R-O-C-K-S. 926theblitz.rocks. Check it out, folks. Also, check out another friend of mine. This next Friday, next week, I'm going to be on his show again, and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Okay, it's unscripted, and there's nothing, maybe a couple of notes to keep us on track, but that is about it. And that's Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker. Yes, I'm going to be on his show again. Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. Distorted Reality NT for Nick Tucker on gab.ai. You can check out our latest podcast from last week at distortedreality.podbean.com. That's distortedreality.podbean.com. And it's free to like, subscribe, and share. But, he's just like me. He's listener supported. So if there's any way that you can support him, please ask. Go to Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook, or Distorted Reality NT on gab.ai. And ask him if there's some way that you can support his podcast. So, yes. So there you go. Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker. I'll be on his show next week, and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Trust me. Oh, man. Yeah. So anyway, folks. Hey, going to break. Speaking of which, hey, you want to advertise on a network? Advertise on American Liberty Radio Network. Consider it at least, because we're expanding around here. I'm expanding. I'm the chief bottle washer around here, so I'm expanding around here, upgrading some equipment. We're doing some stuff around here, trying to get some other shows on the network. So if you are so inclined to want to support American Liberty Radio Network, you can do that. Go to AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Go to the sponsors page. Check out all the information there. And if you have any questions, email me at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. I'll be back in 3 minutes, 20 seconds. Stick around, folks. There's more to come on American Liberty Radio Network. American Liberty Radio Network. Listener-supported online patriotic radio. With the new year upon us, the truth will be seen as fake news, and the lies from the propagandists of the mainstream media will forever be in the minds of those who have been indoctrinated with their disinformation. Your support of alternative and independent media is vitally important to the continuance of our freedom of speech and expression. it is very crucial that you consider supporting other media options. American Liberty Radio Network is supported by listeners. If you are a local business, consider supporting independent online patriotic radio with your advertising dollars as well. There are two options for you. One, you could advertise your product or service with us, or you can donate to the network. Consider contributing to independent media today. Consider American Liberty Radio Network. Contact us at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com or go to our website at AmericanLibertyRadio.com.
There's a show that's not afraid to ask questions no one else will ask. Not afraid to say
what no one else will say.
Friday nights at 7 p.m. Listen to Restricted Airspace with Tina Marie, where no topic is off limits. Conspiracy theories, paranormal activities, hoaxes, the unexplained. It's what we talk about. Question everything. Trust no one. Restricted Airspace with Tina Marie. Friday at 7 p.m. on the KCOR Digital Radio Network out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Distorted Reality. I am your host, Nick Tucker, and I welcome you to the broadcast.
Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker. DistortedReality.podbean.com and Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on American Liberty Radio Network. We the people have the power, for we are America. American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Welcome back, folks. This is American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.com, AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. The music you're hearing is Ethan is it Maxell? Meixell? Meixsell. Ethan Maxell. Sea of Sand. You can find that on YouTube. Yes. Check it out. Thank you, Ethan. Appreciate that very, very much. Yes, this is American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com, AmericanLibertyRadio.com, and if you have any questions whatsoever, please ask. No question is off limits. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. It's that simple, folks. You can email me at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com, AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. Well, today was the day, folks. Today, James Comey testified or had his testimony in Congress. InfoWars will provide live analysis of former FBI Director James Comey testimony to the Senate Intelligence Committee beginning Thursday at 8:30 Central. Okay. The statement, his basic opening statement is right there. Let me share that with you. There's a live, actually right now, there is live coverage of it on this site that I am going to share with you on American Liberty Radio Podcast. So it's on right now. I'm going to put it on the podcast page, but I'm also going to share it in the live feed, the main news feed. So let me go to my personal page at Wayne S. Pierce on Facebook and share this as well. It's important that you know that it is, how can I put this without sounding too crass? Basically, it's a bunch of liars in Congress and in this committee asking another liar for the truth. Pretty much. And, so, I mean, it's it says here on Infowars.com, Comey committed perjury in Congress. Yes, he should go to jail at that point, or spend at least 6 months in prison. Turning the corner and going into a different direction, Clifford Cunningham, Infowars.com, 8th of June, 2017. More Dems join effort to impeach Trump. Do you see the insanity here? Folks, I'm just saying. But they admit effort will not pass the full House. Of course, so they might as well just stop. The second congressional Democrat has joined Texas Representative Al Green's effort to begin impeachment proceedings against President Donald Trump. Democratic Representative Brad Sherman of California said he was drawing up a single article of impeachment based on President Trump's decision to fire former FBI Director James Comey. Quote, the standard for high crimes and misdemeanors has been met, unquote, Sherman said at a press conference, despite the president having the power to fire FBI directors, which he does, by the way, it's constitutional. In fact, Dems are calling for Hillary Clinton to fire, get this, in fact, Dems were calling for Hillary to fire Comey if she were elected president. Can I just stop right there and say this? Is it irony? Is it what's the word? Is it hypocrisy? Continuing, the resolution which Sherman favorably compared to the articles of impeachment passed by the House Judiciary Committee in 1974 against then-President Richard Nixon is expected to be introduced, quote-unquote, fairly soon, a timeline he specified as, quote, weeks rather than months, unquote. Sherman is the first Democratic member of Congress to join Texas Representative Al Green's effort to impeach President Trump. Let me put the rest of that on the American Liberty Radio podcast. Let me bottom line it for you, folks. Let me tell you what this whole thing is about, or part of it anyway. And it's this. It's about a group of people who call themselves politicians wanting to engage and help this country under the principles of peace, freedom, liberty, and security. That's one group of people. And they want to be more conservative and less spending and smaller government, which of course we all need because we know that the other part of the group, same group, folks, but just another part that named themselves differently. The other part of the group wants to give away the store, wants to have open borders, wants to raise taxes, wants to tax the crap out of everybody so that things can be paid for. And number one, guess what? Most of your tax dollars goes to the war machine of the military-industrial complex of the United States of America so that we can go to other countries and conquer them and enslave their people and steal their resources. Have I upset people enough already? I told you before, I'm going to be straightforward, factual, and truthful. And if you don't like it, hey, there's other programs out there. So, let me move on before I start to rant and get really, So other things I got to get to, folks. Final polling suggests landslide victory for Theresa May in UK election. Last minute poll reflects 10-point lead for PM May, Prime Minister Theresa May. Yeah, she's the one that, speaking of open borders, yeah, she's a freaking globalist. Dershowitz, Trump cannot be guilty of obstruction while exercising constitutional authority. Famed Harvard professor Alan Dershowitz, there we go, sparked a fiery debate on CNN Wednesday. Muslims demand, get this, this pissed me off when I read this. Muslims demand taxpayer-funded, quote-unquote, safe spaces where they can express their rage. Quote, possibly the dumbest idea, unquote, ever. Yes, let me... Paul Joseph Watson, Infowars.com, 8th of June, 2017. A Muslim group in Australia is demanding taxpayer funds be diverted for anti-terrorism programs to create a quote-unquote safe space for angry young Muslims to express quote-unquote inflammatory comments that they otherwise wouldn't be allowed to say in public. Islamic Council of Victoria wants money for federal counter-terrorism and anti-extremism programs to be diverted, quote, to create refuges, I think that's how you pronounce that word, where emotionally overloaded youths can voice inflammatory comments. Really? Really? Are you freaking serious? I'll just leave that right there, and I'm going to put this on American Liberty Radio Podcast for all you guys to take a look at. This is just... I just take a deep breath and go into my Zen mode. And just, yeah, folks. I want to say this. I appreciate people who have a view. I appreciate people who have a view and who are passionate about that view. I am. I appreciate it very, very much. Okay? But when the view is blatantly stupid, what else are we going to do, folks? Huh? What are we going to do? Because we see it for what it is. It's there. It's out in the open. Somebody says it. There it is. Now how do you deal with it? How do you deal with Merkel? Angela Merkel in Germany? How do you deal with Theresa May in the UK? How do you deal with these people when they blatantly put your freedoms at risk? How do you do that? How does that work for you? Huh? What? I just don't get it, folks. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I could at some point. I could at some point just say, "Oh, screw it. Let's just let everybody in. Let everyone in. Go ahead. Let everyone in. Let's just give away the store. Let's just, get rid of rules of law. Let's just get rid of all the borders. Let's just get rid of everybody. Let's just get rid of all those things that are impeding the takeover of the United States of America. Let's just let it happen." Well, I did say you got to kick over the barrel of apples and pick out the good ones and throw the rest away, did I not? Interesting. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and just allow all these crazy-ass Muslims who have been banned from this country since 1952, let's allow them to come in and do whatever they want. Let's let them upset the apple cart. Let's let them create Sharia law where women are in burqas and you don't even want, you don't know what, no. Let me stop right there before I just puke on my shoes with what I'm thinking. I'm going to say this. And I'm going to preface it by saying this. If I've upset or if I do upset my friends and family with this, and if you are so inclined to react to the things I say, then I tell my friends and family, wake the hell up. Because you're freaking blind. You have no idea what's going on because you don't care. You have no idea what is happening right in your own neighborhoods that is impacting you on a negative level. You have no idea. And if you do, what the hell are you doing putting up with that crap? Muslims have been banned from the United States of America since 1952, and we need to shut the damn borders on them. We need to pack them up and ship them out. And if they don't like it, I don't care. And I'm being nice. Let's pack them up and ship them out. What's the other option? What's the alternative to that? Well, we have over 325 million people in the United States of America, and I would say at least 150 to 180 million of them have 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 weapons each. So I think the first option is the best option. Ship their asses out, close the damn borders. Period. Oh, you're an isolationist. You're this, you're that. You're a racist. You're prejudiced. You're No, folks. Let me remind you of something. I grew up in Stockton, California. I knew people who were of the Muslim Islamic faith. I knew Muslims. I knew Sikhs. I knew these people. I used to work at a company that dealt with these people. Let me tell you something. There's some nice folks out there. I'm specifically talking about the bull crap that Obama did and that people are allowing to continue, which is, hey, let's just, bring these refugees into the United States. When it's already on record that most of them are either young adults or adults, and they're with their families, and they've been known, most of them, not all of them, have been known to be part of a radical Islamic group that wants to destroy the United States of America. And by the way, it's also on record, and you can go look this up yourself. It's also on record. Go look it up. It's in their own papers in Washington, D.C., and information from other sources. There are terror cells in the United States of America. By the way, living in Stockton, California at the time I did in the 90s, I can tell you this much. There was a federal bust of a group of people on a farm near Lodi, California. They were running a school, if I remember correctly, but that school was funding other places. Now, I don't know what the outcome of that was, of the whole raid on that place. I have no idea. All I know is that it was a school, and from the information that I remember, they were funding other places which were deemed radical. So, we have a ban on Muslims since 1952, and people are allowing they're allowing this. Ban on Muslims since 1952. I'm Googling it, folks. Snopes is a bull crap site. Don't even use it anymore. because it's bullcrap. The Immigration and Nationality Act of 1952, publication, there's a publication and all that. I'll put this up on American Liberty Radio podcast. Enacted on June 27, 1952, also known as the McCarran-Walter Act, restricted immigration into the U.S. and is codified under Title 8 of the United States Code, Chapter 12. The act governs primarily immigration to and citizenship in the United States of America. It has been in effect since June 27th, 1952. Before this act, a variety of statutes governed in immigration law, but were not organized within one body of text. Provision. The act abolished racial restrictions found in the United States immigration and naturalization statutes going back to the Naturalization Act of 1790. The 1952 Act retained a quota system of nationalities and regions. Eventually, the act established a preference system which determined which ethnic groups were desirable immigrants and placed great importance on labor qualifications. The act defined three types of immigrants: immigrants with special skills or relatives of U.S. citizens who were exempt from quotas and who were to be admitted without restrictions; average immigrants whose numbers were not supposed to exceed 270,000 per year; and refugees. The act allowed the government to deport immigrants or nationalized citizens engaged in subversive activities, and also allowed the barring of suspected subversives from entering the country. It was used to bar members and former members and fellow travelers of the Communist Party from entry into the United States, even those who had not been associated with the party for decades. It expanded the definition of the United States for nationality purposes, which already included Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, to add Guam. Persons born in these territories on or after December 24th, 1952, acquired U.S. citizenship at birth on the same terms as persons born in other parts of the United States. There you go, folks. There you go. I don't want to hear it anymore. Close the damn borders. Okay? Close them now. And if the federal government doesn't do it, then we the people will, by any means necessary. Okay? Don't like it? Don't care. We're going to have peace, freedom, liberty, and security in this nation. We're going to shut off the borders from nefarious groups and groups that want to undermine and overtake the United States of America. And we're going to make damn sure that the humans, the fellow citizens of the United States of America, are protected. If you don't like it, all I can say is there's the border. Bye-bye. Get the hell out. I know I sound like a racist. I'm not. I have friends of every race, creed, and religion that you can think of, and I can guarantee you we can sit down, we can all discuss matters, we can buy each other lunch or coffee or whatever we're doing, and guess what? We can shake hands and walk away and still be friends. And that's the one thing about America, about the United States, is that it doesn't matter who you are. You can come here, that's fine. Hey, the more the merrier. But you're going to do it the right way. The right way is go to the consulate, go to the immigration department, do all that. Takes years. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. You're going to do it the right way. You're going to do what is right by the standards and the laws of the United States of America if you want to assimilate into becoming a citizen of the United States of America, or vice versa. You want to become a United States citizen and assimilate, you're going to have to do it the right way. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. And if groups are considered refugees and are coming here and wanting to undermine the United States of America and push to change the laws and to push, their little groups into, trying to change things in certain areas of the United States and certain cities, I guarantee you the citizens will make sure that you don't. But we have bleeding heart, whiny, pansy-ass millennials that don't know what it is to even have a backbone, let alone courage, let alone have brains enough to use common sense to think about what they're allowing to be done to them, because it will affect them. On college campuses, like the thing I just read, they want a little group, like in Australia, they want a little group in their universities for a safe space. These Muslims want them. No. My friends who are on Facebook live in Australia. And they say that Australia is basically the unappreciated stepsister of the United States. Those are my words, not theirs. I mean, they've grown quite a bit. Australia has. They've grown quite a bit as far as industry and as far as major cities that are there, Brisbane and Sydney and all those areas. Not too bad for a penal colony. That's what it was before. All right? That's what I hear. I don't know. You guys over in Australia want to correct me on that if I'm wrong? But think about it, folks. Think about it. We're allowing all these things to happen. We're allowing all these things to take place. We're allowing it. And the least we can do for our fellow human beings and our fellow citizens of the United States of America is defend this nation and engage in the principles of peace, freedom, liberty, and security. And if you can't do that or don't have the guts or the backbone to do that, well, then, I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't be here. Maybe you shouldn't even consider, staying an American citizen. Maybe you should renounce your citizenship. Maybe. But then again, where would you be? Because the laws and the policies that are in your city and in your location are negatively impacting you and are making you submit to globalist policies and laws. And you're going to sit there and allow this to happen? You're going to allow all of this to happen? Citizens of the United States of America, I thought you had more integrity than that. Guess I was wrong. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com is the website. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com is the email address. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. American Liberty Radio Network, sharing the truth one fact at a time without all the BS.